Here we go, Zain in the green trunks. He is playing Protoss to the east of this particular map, which is of course the Shattered Temple, versus his opponent, the one and only Randy. He is in the blue trunks, and he is playing Zerg to the north.
We'll have to see, can Zain handle the heat though, because very similar to his brother, does crumble under pressure. I don't even think Zain's played in a tournament before. Offline, he may have played some online, but definitely not offline. So this is one of his big first appearances, so we'll see, does he make mistakes or not. So far, no mistakes. He's going to throw that pylon down nice and early. Good. The position of the pylon is in good location too. Good start for Zain.
Yes, there you go. He is able to build a pylon, which means clearly he is superior to Randy. We'll find out. Because Randy actually can't build pylons because he's playing Zerg.
He can't indeed. Yep. We do have the Overlord going in. And is it going to turn around? Yes, it does turn around. Doesn't matter though that the probe is scouting close by air as well. This is the MLG version. No close by ground available. Second Overlord is on its way over as well. And from what we've seen so far, Randy does like to open up with that 14-14. And meanwhile, we are going to see Zain going to chrono boost again with another probe. Or is he going to throw down 12 gateway, which is really early here? And yes, it is going to be a 12 gateway. And he's going to follow it up with another probe and another chrono boost. So this is already looking looking like a 4-gate possibility here.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean it, but there's 3 different gateway timings that people use game in, game out. 12, 13, 14. 12 is very aggressive. Not because the unit's coming out, it's all about the cybercore research. Obviously getting it on 12 gets it out faster. 13 is in the middle, 14 is very macro-based, but at the same time, if you go 14, you can't get a Zealot out fast enough to block the ramp, but this is 12. So that already tells us that we could be looking at some form of aggression. The next thing we should definitely look at, though, is where does this probe go after it's scouted Randy's base?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is that Randy is actually a player of Protoss as well. He is a bit of a race picker in tournaments, and he does pick Protoss quite a lot, so he's going to be well aware of this timing, and that is interesting stuff.
Really late cybercore here.
Yeah,
I mean, despite going 12 gateway, as I said, it's not about getting the units out nice and fast, it's about getting the cybercore down faster. And literally the gateway finished, and then he pulled down a probe, which basically makes that gateway like a 13 anyway.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a mistake there from Zain. He might not fall back on 4-gate from here, we'll have to see. The second gas is going down. This can still mean anything at the moment, but I wouldn't be surprised because of that slight mistake there. He's not going to be as aggressive, he's not going to be as fast. Let's just fall back and play a little bit more safer now.
Yeah, of course, the other possibility being that he was simply trying to hang back. But whatever the case, Randy would have seen that timing one way or the other, so it is pretty much irrelevant. But you're right, it's a minor error. It's as simple as that. But minor errors can cost you in this kind of matchup. Stalker being chrono boosted out. Randy is actually holding that Overlord there, even though there is a chrono boost going on. That, to me, is a bit of an error.
Yeah, indeed it is. He's going to lose the Overlord sometimes. Well, Randy knows it now, and he's going to try to pull all the lings to counter the Stalker. Which could work in Randy's favor here. As you can see, the Stalker's actually going to come back and get the other Overlord.
Never mind.
And I don't think that's actually going to move in time either. So
no.
Randy a little bit sloppy here. And the Zealot is clearly going to clean up all these now. And we do have that third pylon, so we're not going to see a 4-gate. We're just going to see 3-gate expand. Quite a standard build here. And that Overlord's going to go down in the main base now as well.
Yep, down it goes. And that's a freebie right there for Zain. Of course, he's very happy about that, no doubt. In the meantime, Randy just getting his hatchery almost complete. And it's a nice, safe, macro-orientated build for the time being.
I actually think he's going to 4-gate here still.
You serious?
Yeah, because he's cut his probes now. Let's just see if he does this, because cutting probes now is something you should never do. Okay, it's just a slight mistake. I'm getting a bit cautious there. Like as soon as that Overlord went down, he stopped probe production. I was like, oh, are you really going to do that? But no, it was just a bit of a mistake there. Obviously, nerves playing in your first tournament, so on and so on. Yeah. Meanwhile, we do see Randy just playing very safe now. Is going to go ahead and throw down a Rotron kind of early, expecting some form of aggression. But as you can see now, the Nexus does go down on that lower ground.
Yep. About time that he got that expansion rolling, getting down the pylon as well. But we put it forward down there, great partial wall up, pretty standard for that kind of thing. And Zain now rolling out into a defensive position. And for the meantime, I just expect Randy maybe to poke at it, see if there's any way to get in. There simply isn't. There's too many sentries on the field. Zain can easily block that off, but he'll be able to get a feel of what kind of army composition he's up against, get a feeling of the timing of the expansion. He doesn't see the expo, but he does see the pylon, so he's probably aware that the expansion is going down behind that.
Yeah, and a little bit of pressure going to come out here from Randy straight off the bats. 5 roaches in production, wants to try to capitalize on the low gateway count. He's got to be careful when pushing out here, especially playing against his style. I don't think Randy's going to go all in per se. No. I think he's going to follow it up with a few speedlings, of course, then go back to droning. as obviously the timing's a little bit funky here. It could have hit a little bit earlier, but at the same time, if he feels weakness, he can immediately go for it. The question is, does Zain build a cannon? If you're feeling safe, you should build a cannon every single game. It looks like he is, and he has enough sentries to hold this off for now, but 22 links in production in total. That's a lot coming out right now.
Yeah, it really, really is. And these roaches could have hit him before that cannon goes up, which would be a little bit unpleasant. Hallucination coming out from him as well, so that indicates to me he doesn't want a robotics quite so early, so he could be going for some kind of different play from there. Randy starting to get his forces together. It's now 28 Zerglings. That's a fairly significant number. Another 8 on the way as well. It's going to be a really, really nasty push, and here comes the aggression. Just swinging out to the right side. Those force fields will actually block off any Zerglings that come in right there. So that was nicely played right there by Zain.
We need to chrono boost these gateways immediately, though. We need to continue to warp in units. And that right now, Randy playing smart, hiding the units away, trying to bait these links to come in. And if they do come in, that could be very bad for Zain right now. A second cannon does go down, but the surround is coming in from these links. Good force fields once again,
Very nice. However, the problem is that he's left this area completely exposed, and Randy with a run by right here, but it's blocked off. There's a hero zealot right there, holding that line, and the cannon is doing a great job of cleaning his other things. It will break eventually. Probes coming down for reinforce the block, but there is a leak right there, and Randy gets us around, and now going for the mineral line.
Yeah, and he's lost a lot of probes already. Now I'm looking at the count. 7 are going down. More will continue to fall as well. In the meantime, as predicted, more and more drones are coming out. We're now at 41 drones already, 43 very, very shortly. The attack does get cleaned up, but like I said, this wasn't really there to go and kill him straight away. This is just to fall back, get a good advantage. 8 probes killed, a lot of chrono boost been saved up, no probes in production. Obviously, well, we got a lot of spine crawlers. That's a lot, actually.
That's a bushel of spine crawlers.
That's a lot there. And that's just in case of the counter-attack or whatever, but he's in a great position right now. He knows he's killed so many probes. 23 versus 42 drones.
Yeah, that's significant, and his economic advantage will now no doubt extend to him, perhaps looking to take a third. Whatever the case, he's just really happy with where he is right now, and the choice not to go for the robo, instead to go for the hallucination, is not really led into anything just yet, simply because Zain doesn't have the economy to support any kind of big tech switch at this point, just to kind of push forward into something a little bit different. Whatever the case, we're going to have to see what Zain does. I think he's just going to have to be stuck with the probes for the time being.
Well, he's pylon blocked as well, sorry, it's 60, he was trying to chrono boost, and at this stage of the game, you cannot be pylon blocked. Of course you cannot.
No.
You have to chrono boost everything back into this Nexus to get up that probe count, and he realizes now, throws down double pylons and gateway as well to spend the money, and he's in a pretty bad position right now, to be honest. And like I said, I think the stage fright is getting a little bit to him, despite not being on stage. He's still at such a crucial stage within this tournament against a formidable opponent.
Yeah, Zain inexplicably actually putting out 2 scouting phoenixes, the hallucinated phoenixes, just to keep an eye on things. I think 1 would have done the trick. Whatever the case, we've got Vengeful Sax upgrade and a double evolution chambers coming from Randy, who I believe is now building yes, he is, a macro hatchery to the south of his lair. Randy very, very happy with his current position, trying to get his economy rolling, getting upgrades everywhere he possibly can. Infestors as well, hey, because why not?
And the probe count is still so low. He needs to spend so much more chrono boost into these Nexus to get that count up. And I like this push out here from Zain. If you look at the production tab right now, no units are in production. I'm sure that'll shoot up in a second once these are spotted. Look, 10 lings already, 12 lings, 24 lings. He should not continue to attack, though. He should definitely just pull back now. Maybe check if the gold base is there or not. If it isn't, just pull back, because you will lose when these 24 Zerglings come out. He shouldn't really continue here.
Yeah, his force field placement would have to be perfect. I mean, he has a lot of sentries. He's got 10 on the field in total, but still, that would be a little bit risky regardless. This is a screw up, and they get into the sentry line, and big damage comes in. He's going to continue and actually start to apply pressure with his forward pylon, which to me, as it seems very risky, as you said, but it's a gambit that could potentially pay off.
Yeah, it's going to be very close, but at the end of the day, he's too far ahead. He's trying to look at this +1 timing attack here to try to do anything, but look, 5 spine crawlers, a million links, a counter attack of links, getting ready to come and flank now as well.
Yeah, that was not a good position to be in right there. And there we go, he's created this little bastion, but he's still taking a lot of damage from the spine crawlers, and he wasn't able to do anything to them. Spine crawler takes 3 kills in total, and right now Zain is in a horrible position and is going to get surrounded from every possible angle.
Yeah, and smart play from Randy, pulls out as soon as the force field goes down. Wear down that energy. You know, it's almost as good as killing the sentries when you wear down a 200 energy sentry. And now we do have an Observer coming out. And Randy has upgraded the Ventral Sacks here that he can go ahead and drop into the main base if necessary. But still, the probe count, 43 versus 53. And to be honest, I mean, I'm surprised we haven't seen a third base go up yet from Randy. Look at the money. And this is something we should point out. Because he's not playing enough, his macro is slipping. Supply block at 86. Zain, supply blocked at 92. And the money is so high for Randy. 2,000 at 40 minutes in the game. Incredible.
Yeah, and he's going to end up spending this as well. Now, an interesting thing is the fact that Zain is actually going for Templar Archives. However, Randy's going for a Zergling drop into the base. That's 24, I believe, in total going in. The interception comes in, the Zerglings drop down, and a nice little bit of force field placement right there to ensure they can't get into the minimal line. Randy's going to have to get out of there immediately, and he will probably lose one Overlord, but he shouldn't lose any others, and out they go, no problems at all. Ineffectual, to be honest, but it does keep him in the base, and it, of course, once again, gives him a little bit of scouting information. More to the point, did he actually see that Templar Archives? He did.
Yeah, and when you see that, you know you're going to play against it. But here, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a Baneling Nest go down eventually, so you can start dropping Lings. And once that starts, that is really difficult to deal with, especially down the tech path that he's gone.
Yeah.
He's not got Blink. Well, he's now researching Blink, actually, because of this. But it's going to be very, very difficult. Two Overlords are going to just creep behind the back here. I'm not even sure that Zain has actually spotted them.
That would be nasty. That would go into the minimal line and do certainly some damage. There was a cannon there, though. We'll see what he can do. He may be able to pick off a pylon, maybe start doing some damage. I'm liking the base structure right here of Zain. It's actually very, very tight. Difficult to attack from multiple angles. However, there are actually two forces. Zain was forced completely out of position. He was looking to expand, and now damage is being done by these Zerglings that have dropped in. He's going to actually take the Robo out, break his way through there, but I don't think he's really going to have the firepower to do that. But nonetheless, good bit of harassment.
Yeah, good bit of harassment here, and the thing is that the macro here from Randy is just slipping up. That he could be so far ahead, to be honest, but he's not. If you look at the supply count, it's still 118 versus 113.
Yeah, it's not as big as it should be.
So far ahead. He has got the tech advantage, though. 8 Infestors are about to pop. That's one way to get rid of 2,000 minerals, 2,000 gas. Double upgrades coming up, so we are going to go 2-2 with these Lings, and he's also gone to Hive, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just threw down an Ultralisk Cavern really soon here and really took advantage of those upgrades. Meanwhile, we are going to see this third base slowly but surely taken here from Zain, and these High Temple are starting to build up a lot of energy now. We do have 5 in total out, and that will be a lot of feedbacks available to nullify all these Infestors. If he can get off crucial feedbacks on these Infestors, that can just change the game there and then.
Oh, very nice little bit of fungal growth action right there by Randy, who was able to take the Observer completely out simply using those fungal growths. Ultralisk Cavern was the correct call because that's what's coming in. Zerg melee attack level 3. Ultralisk coming onto the field, that's where things start to get a little bit messy, and considering the amount of force fields, I mean, it's 12 sentries. Ultralisks are the perfect choice because they can stomp their way through the force fields, no problem at all. Randy building up a very nasty force in the middle right here as Zain tries to secure a third.
And still, the drone count is so low for this stage of the game. 56 is so low. And I think that's more of a mistake rather than style, but we'll see as that drags on. But look at all the energy from these sentries and High Templars now. That is going to be crucial here. I think the problem now for Zain is that he doesn't know about the Hive, and he doesn't know about the Ultralisk Cavern. So that's going to be a bit of a surprise for him, because he's not really kind of built up to deal with Ultralisk whatsoever. If he knew about that, he could easily start making Immortals into this mix as well, and it'd be a lot easier for him. He does have good tabs, though, on the minimap, as you can see with the Observers, knows where the army is, knows basically the expansions as well. He knows that 4 bases have been taken. He knows he also has to act soon. DTs have been brought into the mix as well, which is also great, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this the Warp Prison being used in the main base as well.
Yeah, Zain's actually got a really large mixed force right here. He's got a lot of tech, and he actually has an army supply count advantage. As you said, if he's able to get these good feedbacks right here and do damage to these Infestors, then that'll be absolutely perfect, and that's going to make his attack much stronger. That said, the longer he waits, the worse that is. The double storms going down right there. Mass feedbacks. Feedback actually land on the Overseer and not on that.
Really bad unit control here. Where are his units? On the other side of the map. Really bad there, but he's killing a lot of Infestors, though. That is most important here, as the fungal growth has been worn down to a mere minimal. DTs though, DT harassment did try to come into the natural, but there is a Sport Crawler and 5 Spine Crawlers there. He should be attacking these back left-hand side bases though. They're the ones that are naked. There's the one where he can do damage.
Yeah, absolutely. Going up for straight engagement in the middle of the map, especially with that creep, doesn't seem to be a good idea. 2 DTs ripped out very easily. rANDY holding his Ultralisks back for the time being. Zain still, as far as I can tell, yep, he does not know about those. If he goes for a full frontal attack right here, he will be annihilated. He doesn't want to do that at all. Zain, as he said, needs to start picking off. And in the meantime, there is a Warp Prism, however, coming up to this base up to the west.
And yeah, he will be able to warp in DTs immediately. And the Spore Crawler is only just now starting. So if he goes now, he can do so much damage to this back base. Whereas the Overseer, it is nowhere close to that back base. So in come these DTs, and in comes a lot of economic damage.
Yeah, the question is, will he go for the hatchery? If he does, will he have the damage to take it out? Thing is, there are fungal growths available, so he doesn't want to stick around there. If he does, then they'll be annihilated almost immediately. Zealot's warping as well, but they're actually not doing anything right now, and end up getting fungal growth in the process. Right now, Zain just backing away in order to take a fourth, and this is a scary, scary proposition. These are 2-3. They are heavily upgraded. They are very dangerous, and right now I'm not convinced that Zain can actually deal with them.
If fungal growths get onto Zain's clumped up army, that's lights out there and there. He needs to spread out. He also needs to pull off these feedbacks too.
Here come the Ultralisks, and how do you stop that many Ultras? Very, very difficult to do. He does have an Immortal right down the right flank, but a big storm coming down. Will he be able to do the damage? It certainly is not yet. Archon is broken, taking an Ultralisk with him. Ultralisk flanking right now and absolutely crushing Zain's force right now.
And the Immortal at 6 kills right now is going to turn on that Ultralisk, equally fighting back though, and he is going to hold, but his economy is just not up to scratch with rANDY's right now. 62 drones versus 51 probe. The third base is mining, but the saturation on it is very poor for Zain in the bottom right-hand side. Does not have a gold base. rANDY has got a lot of money banked up, goes immediately back up with 7 more Ultralisks in production. And he can just wear down the Protoss army day in, day out, and it's going to be very, very hard for Zain because you always want to be fighting at a kind of a maxed out army. There's like 3 times you should engage as a Protoss player. When you are maxed out, when you've got a sick advantage, or when you go for a timing attack. And neither one of those apply for Zain right now.
Yep, a bit of lazy control right there as rANDY throws away an Overseer simply because he's not paying attention. Gets sniped off on the gold base right now. Another base now taken for rANDY. A bit of harassment came in. That Warp Prism is still on the field for the time being. Question is, will he be able to do anything with it? Not right now by the looks of it. I mean, he could warp in DTs to do damage here, I suppose. Well, we'll see what he decides to do. rANDY with 11 Ultralisks, entirely standard.
Yeah, no, it's completely standard, especially once this new patch kicks in too. Another warped in Zealot here on the left-hand side, going to go to town on this hatchery. There is nothing to stopping that right now, and rANDY does not care he's going for this.
Slicey is going for it, and you know what? Can I detect Flow? Doesn't matter. Flow is going to slide through everything we can see. However, these Immortals going to do so much damage, and the Archon's actually holding up quite nicely. rANDY needs a good surround to be able to clean his way through this, and he's got a good angle on it as well. The Archons aren't doing that much damage, but while he's sacrificing a number of Ultras to make this happen, he can still start smashing through it. That base is gone. This base is going to be quite difficult to take down if he goes for full frontal attack, but he could come around the side.
Yeah, 4 more Ultralisks about to come in. Now the Ultralisk armor's kicked in, so it's plus, it has +5 on with the armor.
6 armor total,
in total, yeah, with the +3 attack as well. So he's looking very, very dominant with these Ultralisks. 4 more in production now. And we only have +3 finishing for Zain right now at 25 minutes into the game. 3-1 upgrades this late is very poor.
Yeah, it is a little bit slacky, honestly, and I have to wonder if rANDY's going to take huge advantage of that. I can only imagine that he is. Now slicing his way through there. Well, he's, some DTs actually took out this space here, but I don't think rANDY actually cares. He's more interested in saying hello to the space over here. Can he smash his way through the photon cannons? That's the question. There we go. He finds one way through, loses an Ultralisk in the process. Now cleaves his way through 2 more, and now he's just going to have his wicked way with this base in the southeast.
And as soon as that goes down, I think the game will also go down for Zain. Link and Ultras just tearing through these Zealots. Also, we have 4 Ultras on the natural as well. What can he deal with this? Absolutely nothing. 1 Zealot in the production tab. Don't think that's going to help.
Yeah, I think this might be GG at this point, honestly, and hard fought there by Zain, but rANDY's let's just fill loads of Ultralisks and hope for the best strategy. Seems to be doing the job, especially with +3/+3 upgrade. And needless to say, he's had a macro advantage for most of this game. His economy's been great. Finally cleaves his way through that Archon, which was standing in his way. Tries to take out these Blink Stalkers. Eventually he will be able to do so, but he's just completely gutted the economy. A huge flood of Zerglings coming in from the side and just destroying everything that Zain holds dear.
And GG.
GG, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.